Welcome back to Elevation 44. It's your girl B. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, family. Today is the official start of Pisces season. So we're gonna be diving all into the facts about Pisces season today. I'm pretty excited about Pisces season because that means that Aries season is all around the corner, and that, for me, that spring equinox kicks off a new cycle and a new year in my mind, okay? So I'm always excited about Pisces season because it's like the final wrap up before folding over into the new cycle, all right? So Pisces season starts today, February 18th, and goes all the way until March 20th, okay? And that's when the sun will officially move into Aries, marking the start or the new cycle or the spring equinox, okay? A lot of us know it as that. So before I get started, I will say I am sipping on some Pisces moon tea because I had to break it out for this video. It's like, we're all about this Pisces energy, so let's just bring out the tea. If you have your Pisces tea from the apothecary 4T4, go on ahead and, brew yourself a cup and, pause this video. We'll be here when you get back. And if you do not have this tea on hand, I suggest you get it because you can also use it in your rituals and just in a multitude of ways. You can make oils with it, you can do candle magic with it. There's so much that you can do with those herbal blends besides drinking them. So you might want to put that on your shopping cart list, okay? But anyway, the link is always down in the description box if you're interested. If you do not have this tea on hand, just go grab yourself something warm to drink so that you are nice and cozy as we go through the entire Pisces season and all the major transits that are happening, okay? So now I'm gonna put my tea out of the way and let's talk about what it means when the sun has moved into Pisces, okay? So when the sun moves into Pisces, we are transitioning from the, I would like to say, headiness, right, of Aquarius season and more into that space of emotion and emotional sensitivity. This is the energy that allows us to tap into our emotions, our intuition, our imagination. It's expanding on the vision, through imagination, but in a different lens than, Aquarius energy is. The Aquarius energy is more from a space of thinking and knowing. It's all about the head and being reasoning and being logic and in the thoughts. But Pisces season is all about here. It's about feeling. It's getting out of here and getting into here. And that is important because we need a balance of both. Whenever we need to build something that is has a nice equilibrium, that has a nice balance, that's in harmony, we have to have a balance of both present, a balance of head and heart, okay? If there's too much head, too much reasoning, too much logic, too much thinking, and not enough emotion, then it's not going to be something that is in the best interest because it's like, I think this is what it is. I know this is what should be and not I feel it as well. You know what I mean? So that's why Pisces energy is so important. So this is where our compassion, our imagination, our creativity, and our intuition are truly activated. And it's done so in a different way, like I said, from the Aquarius intuition, right, which is activated in Aquarius season. Also, the creativity that is, activated in Aquarius season is more from the standpoint of innovative ideas and progressive thinking, right? So, and Aquarian energy is really about that compassion, but it's not compassion in the same feeling way. It's compassion in more of the humanitarian way. I want to do what's best for everybody. I want to make sure that the world is a better place because it needs to be a better place, not necessarily because I feel the pain and suffering of, other people and that's what's moving me. It's more like this looks effed up and we need to make it look a lot better, okay? So I hope you guys understand the contrast between the two, but why both are so important and why Aquarius season leads into Pisces season, okay? Also, Pisces is the last zodiac sign, okay? So this is the kind of the culmination or the, how would I say it? yeah, it is the culmination of all the other energies in the zodiac, because this is supposed to be the last stop before moving into a new cycle. So it is supposed to be the place where everything that we have amassed or worked through the entire cycle is now, meeting. It's at that meeting point, and this is where we truly understand and unfold, and then we're able to then release or do whatever we need to do and then move into the next cycle. This is why Pisces also rules the 12th house, which is the house of a lot of people have referred to it as the house of self-undoing, of unpacking, of the subconscious mind, because it is that culmination of all those energies, okay? Pisces energy and that 12th house energy also is what connects us to the spiritual realm, okay? It is like I said, that last stop. So it is literally, I like to think of Pisces energy and that 12th house energy as the connection between the material world or the physical world that you see us here right now, and the spiritual world, the unseen world. And that's why it has a lot to do with the subconscious or the unconscious mind. Everything that is unseen is really what the 12th house represents. Anything unsaid, and it's all about feeling it. It's that intuition, that knowing, but from a place of like your soul. You know what I mean? So that is really what Pisces season brings to us. This is also mutable energy, so it's going to help us transform easier into the next phase. That's why it is the last stop. And the danger and the blessing of this energy is one and the same, right? So the energy of Pisces can be really dreamy and idealistic because it's just kind of stuck in that, that idealism, that fantasy phase, which is helpful, but it's also a danger because you can be prone to a lot of illusions and deception and not being realistic. So being unrealistic because you're being so idealistic. So again, the same beauties that the energies bring in can also be the same dangers, or it can be in harm, right? If not in balance. It's also, I will say this is also the energy that is tied to a lot of escapism because of that fantasizing and getting lost in that way, and being stuck in that dreaminess. And that escapism is like literally what a lot of people get caught up in: drugs and different forms of stimulation or things to keep themselves just gone and tapped out of what we're going through here in waking life. Like they don't want to deal with it, so they basically put their selves on vacation and tap into whatever is going to help them do that. So that is Pisces energy in short, or long, depending on how long I've been talking. But let's just talk about some of the other stuff, right? So the sun that has moved into Pisces is actually going to be conjuncting Neptune as well as it transits through the entire sign of Pisces. Now, we have to remember Neptune is the planet that rules Pisces energy. So a lot of the things that I was talking about, the imagination, the creativity, the intuition, your psychic gifts, the spirituality, all of that is, Neptunian type energy. And Neptune has been in Pisces, which is its home, since 2011. So it's slowly, because Neptune is an outer planet, so it slowly moves through one sign, okay? So it's been there since 2011. And the sun conjuncting Neptune is definitely going to further highlight or expand on everything that I talked about with Pisces energy, for good and for bad, okay? So our vision and our creativity, our imagination is going to be expanded. Our gifts, our psychic abilities, our awareness, our dreams, all of that is going to be highlighted and expanded during this time. But again, those negative qualities, the escapism, the dreaminess of getting lost and just being delusional, and those addictions and a lot of those other things can also be expanded on during this time as well, okay? So we have to definitely watch for keeping a balance there. What also is happening this entire Pisces season is something that has been present before we moved into Pisces season, and that's Saturn squaring Uranus. Now, Saturn is the planet of responsibility, restrictions, our foundations, how we work. It's just time. It is that kind of like, I always refer to Saturn as that that military parent that wants to whip us into shape because it knows the best that we can be, right? So that is Saturn energy. It's there to keep us in line and help us transform and grow in a very, I don't want to say in a very controlled way, but in a very specific way is what I want to say. So with it having tension with Uranus, we will definitely continue to see tension between restriction and freedom. Also the tension between, you know, the old world wanting to people still wanting to hold on, and the energy of the old world wanting to still stay fixated, and the energy of the new world trying to come in. It's just kind of a clashing of both, okay? So we're still going to feel a lot of that tension, and this is going to be a theme that's going to run throughout the rest of the year. So we definitely want to keep in mind these energies are both Saturn being in Aquarius and Uranus being in Taurus. They're both in fixed signs. They're both stubborn, inflexible. They both want it their way. It's like, no, I want it this way, no, I want it this way, and no one's willing to compromise. So that tension is something that we're going to continue to feel. Moving on to the 21st of February, okay? Mercury is going to station direct. Mercury has been retrograde since January 30th, and I have gotten a lot of messages where people are saying, yo, this is like the worst Mercury retrograde I've ever been through. Some people fared well, some people didn't. I really think it really depends on your placements and what house that Mercury retrograde is moving in for you. If you want to know more about Mercury retrograde through the houses, I have a video for that, so I'm going to go ahead and link that in the description box or somewhere up above. But when it went retrograde, Mercury retrograde on the 30th, and it moved back through the sign of Aquarius, it decided to retrace its steps to, you know, go back and see what it missed while it was, you know, going through. So when Mercury is in Aquarius, it's all about our thoughts, our visions, like what are we trying to build, what are, you know, is really about our vision. So it's really about who we're collaborating with, how we're communicating, what we're thinking about, and how that contributes to the progression of the collective, right? So when it went back, it's like, review. What do we build? What do we believe? What is the vision? What do we, you know, why do we believe that? Who are we connecting with? Who are we building it with, and why? It just really brought us back to review all of that type of stuff, okay? Now, with it moving forward again, now we're gonna see like forward movement. Now that we've had that chance to review, now we're gonna continue to expand on those visions, those thoughts, those collaborations, and all the things that we need to do to move forward. On the 25th, Venus is entering Pisces, okay? So Venus is our, you know, planet of love, relationships. It's all about our values, our resources, you know, our creativity, a bunch of other stuff, okay? Venus is definitely the planet that brings the goods, okay? So with it entering to Pisces, the change that we're gonna be feeling is like when it was in Aquarius, it's all about, you know, building and attracting our tribe. It's about socialization, it's about collaborations, it's really about making those connections and expanding those networks. Now with it moving into Pisces, this is the most romantic energy ever. We talk about Pisces being dreamy and just, you know, all of that, compassionate and loving and caring and all of that type of stuff. It's like gonna be on 10 with Venus being in Pisces, okay? Now Venus is exalted in Pisces, which means it really functions well in this placement. So our sensitivity, our affection, our compassion are activated, okay? So we're longing to connect with others, and our feelings will dictate how we approach our relationship. Can't even speak. Our feelings will dictate how we approach our relationships versus our thoughts and our thinking governing how we approach our relationships, okay? So that is, it's gonna be that in the feels energy, okay? So I definitely think it's a good thing. I like that. I think sometimes we need to get out of our head some, okay? So this is really a stark contrast from the Aquarian energy, because that is all about, again, the thoughts and thinking, and this is all about feeling and caring for others and wanting to be loving with others and wanting to, you know, give an exchange of love and from the heart and more from that feeling space, right? Venus will also, as it moves through Pisces, will also at some moment conjunct Neptune as well, which is It's going to be blending those energies with Neptune. So this is going to further expand on our need to care for others, our compassion, and that romantic energy, okay? So this is going to make us more likely, though, to daydream. So it's going to be hard to stay focused on task and stuff like that. So you can find yourself kind of like not really wanting to do much work or do anything hard and focus-based under this energy. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. And, okay, this is also a great time for creativity and indulging in pleasurable things. So that is a good way to exercise this energy when Venus finally meets up with Neptune, okay? Now, let's move on to the 27th, okay? The 27th of February, we have a Virgo full moon, and this is going to be at 8 degrees, the number of abundance, the number of balance and harmony. And this full moon in Virgo full moons are really, really nice. There's a really healing energy. I love the energy of a Virgo full moon, especially as it happens simultaneously in Pisces season. It's a really nice energy. But this full moon in particular is going to be calling our attention to finding balance in the details, okay? And I'm not going to go into it too much. Why? Because I'm gonna have an entire video on that, so stay tuned for that video. And I apologize if you guys hear noise. I have neighbors that are moving in next door, and so I think that some of that noise might be picking up, but I hope it's not too distracting, okay? Right, moving along. On the 28th, which is the day after the full moon, we are going to have a grand trine, okay? And this is great energy, and I'm going to tell you what the grand trine is going to be doing. So we're going to have a grand trine where the moon in Virgo, Mars in Taurus, and Pluto in Capricorn are all going to be forming a triangle of 120 degrees in the same element. That's what a trine is. 120 degree, aspects being made between 3 planets in the same element, and this is all in the element of Earth. So this is a big flow of harmonious energy and balance, okay, for us. So the focus here is on security, and attracting resources will really be high on our goals list with this transit, okay? So the 28th is, you're gonna want to put a star next to that day and really capitalize on this energy. So this is also a great time for inspiration, organization, and resourcefulness, all right? So the 28th is a day we gotta mark, and it's the last day of the month, so that is also a beneficial or just easy to remember as well. So on March 3rd, not March 4th, March 3rd, Mars enters Gemini, okay? Mars, our action, our initiation, our drive, our aggressiveness, Mars is just that bundle of energy, that fire energy that gets us going, keeps us pushing, keeps us moving, right? Our motivation. It's entering Gemini. Now, in Taurus, it was forced to, Mars doesn't really like to be in Taurus, because Taurus is like, I love my Taurians out there, but if you know a Taurian, they are the slowest moving, not necessarily physically slow moving, but slow moving in like action of moving on to new things, or embracing new things, or just getting things up and popping quickly, because they like to take their time, they like to think about things, and it's on their time when they're ready to then transition into something new or kick off something new. They're not really one for moving fast and making quick decisions and making quick thoughts and all of that type of thing. So Mars doesn't really like that, because Mars likes to get up and go. Mars wants to go do now. Mars wants to think. Like, it's like, I don't have time to sit here and weigh this all out. Like, let's get this popping. So with it in Taurus, it did focus or shift its focus or its energy on our long-term goals, visions, and strategies and stuff like that, because it had to concentrate its energy somewhere. But now in Gemini, this energy is going to be a hot mess because it's going to be all over the place. Gemini is very scattered energy. It's very heady energy. It's all about being intellectual and thinking and communicating and getting involved in different ideas and having a variety of things going on. So what happens is, when you've been forced to sit down and time out and just concentrate on this one thing, when you get out of that, it's like, whoa, what can I do next? I'm all over the place. That's what Mars in Gemini is going to be like, okay? So this is a restless energy. It's unfocused. Your mind will pick up lots of information, but it will be hard to focus on just one thing. So it'll be easy to get bored, and you're probably just gonna want to like try multitasking during this time. I'm not an advocate for multitasking because I don't. Once upon a time, I used to be the multitasking queen, but I don't believe in doing that anymore because I see it actually works against you and not for you. But this might be an exception to the rule, especially since Pisces and Neptune and all of this stuff is going to be, the sun is going to be in Pisces and meeting up with Neptune and Venus, and just, it's going to make for a real big, unfocused cloud of energy. And so multitasking might be something you need to keep yourself on track. So I just want to say that there, okay? So Mars actually going through Gemini is going to be trining. This is good energy. This is good. Trine is harmonious. So it's going to be trining Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, okay? So this is adding ambition and passion to our thinking and sharing information. It's also adding that boost for ideas, collaboration around structures that we're working to build, and all the new changes that are being introduced. It's helping us to get into those juices. Mars is also going to cross over the North Node at some point during its transit through Gemini, okay? Remember, our North Node is in Gemini, and our North Node is our collective direction. This is where we're moving towards collectively, okay? So this is lighting a fire under that collective direction of adaptation to change, community, sharing information, so teaching and learning, okay? Being on both sides of the coin, and also releasing outdated beliefs, okay? So this is what is helping to light a fire. Just remember, Mars, anything Mars touches, comes in contact with, it's just lighting a fire up under that, putting some gasoline in that fire, making it bigger, okay? Now, moving on to March 13th, because on that day, we're gonna have a Pisces new moon, and this new moon is going to be at 23 degrees, which in numerology goes down to 5, the number of change, all right? So this is gonna be triggering emotional sensitivity for the collective that leads to internal transformation or changes, right? So I'm not gonna talk about that either, because I'm gonna have an entire new moon video to help you set your intentions with this Pisces new moon. Moving right along, on March 15th, Mercury is actually going to be entering Pisces. So I said Mercury, is going to go direct, and then it's going to move through Aquarius, and then on the 15th, it's finally going to make its way into Pisces. So our imaginative thoughts are going to be moving from innovative ideas and progressive thinking to creativity and imagination, fueled by emotional receptivity or sensitivity. That's really where it's going to come from. So this is caring and compassionate interests that pop up, and our communications are going to be centered and focused more around that, okay? So the receptivity, though, on the other side of that, can make you a sponge to others' thoughts and emotions. So definitely want to protect yourself and keep your boundaries firm during this time, because you don't want, not everyone's out to be kind and loving and gentle, and sometimes people prey on that energy. So just keep yourself protected, okay? So during Pisces season, the overall focus is being led by your intuition, tapping into those psychic gifts and paying attention to those dreams and messages. Also expanding on your vision by tapping into your emotional sensitivity, aka that compassion, okay? And also expressing your emotions through creativity, and overall just finding balance, okay? So that is the focus of this Pisces season. The herbs that I would recommend you working with, and I'm going to mention more in my Pisces new moon video and also my Virgo full moon video, but just, 2 herbs that you can work with throughout the season. I would definitely recommend rose and mugwort, okay? So these are great for your divination, for your dreams, for strengthening those psychic gifts and abilities, for opening up that third eye, okay? Crystals as well, same thing. Amethyst is going to also help with that third eye, that vision, seeing what really needs to be seen. Also, it's also a great protection stone, and helps you tap into that divination and that side of things. And also rainbow fluorite, which is great for intuition and helping you strengthen your intuition, okay? So I've said a mouthful. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea, which is probably almost cold now, but my Pisces, happy solar return to all my Pisceans out there. If you have a solar return during Pisces season, please drop your birthday down below so we can show you some birthday or solar return love. Other than that, let me know in the comments below if you're looking forward to anything during Pisces season, or if you want to share any of your thoughts about, you know, what has happened through Aquarius season and what it has taught you and what you're looking forward to learning in Pisces season as a continuation. I know that was a lot, but anyway, I hope you all have a good one, and I will see you in the next video.